when there is a correction in the crypto market, this is what you see. And you need to stay alert about the reality, or otherwise you may misled. Instead of saying XRP dumped, giving a clear picture that the crypto market corrected after rallying huge would have been truthful, or at least not kind of taking you guys towards another end, because adoption is moving ahead. Now with the NDAs, the non-disclosure agreements, it won't be clear. Now yeah, I agree, at this point it will be speculation, but one thing which looks likely for me is that we are going to skyrocket in terms of price. Now why do I say this? Because I definitely do believe this scenario is going to play out. In price, XRP may do 200x from here. Now, yeah, I know you guys were looking at 1000x. So what about that? Yeah, those who average down their position towards the lowest point would be still some way closer to that, right? So 200x from here in XRP price won't surprise me, at least. So now we want to know what really is happening in the price as of now. What can we expect, what we are looking at, and how the future kind of looks like. So this shows the odds of XRP running 95,000%, right? So that's like 950x your capital if you manage to average it down to the bottom. Now for those who enter now, it will be 200x only. Now yeah, I use the term only with 200x because you understand the scenario. It's 950x from here and 200x here, right? It's not the 950, you kind of lose 700x because you averaged up or came late in this market. So the same would be valid for many other assets. Say some may show you huge gain in the entire market cycle. Say imagine this is 200x, 200,000%. But what if from here it's only 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000%? Yeah, even though the asset did pretty fine in this market cycle, from here you won't be making much of the money. The money had to be made there earlier. So that all depends upon assets which you are in and how you rebalance your portfolio, right? So the same would be valid for all different assets in this market. Some shows huge gains. Surprisingly, some assets shows little gains from here compared to what you can really achieve in this bull market. Now, let's actually dig through these and try to understand what is happening now and how can you make the most of this. You want to make the most out of this bull market for your portfolio, right? And you are here for that. You are here to make profits. So let's talk through that. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now in yesterday's video, or the last video which I put in, I clearly explained to you guys there would be a dip in price. When everyone was saying there's a huge crash coming, I showed you this in yesterday's video highlighting this stuff. We are kind of getting a double top here. Now that's only valid based on this particular trend, and I was showing you guys, there is a possibility that 0.5 can be the bottom, but at the same time I explained through the video that we may stay above 0.55. Now where are we in the price right now? You can actually go back and look at all the different stuffs and understand it, right? Now at the same time, you do have to understand there are stuffs evolving. So the market is kind of 100% bullish for Bitcoin, and right now, some news which are coming out, and if it is going to act like this, that won't be that bullish. But at the same time, news related to XRP, the real news, now the fake news, are showing you that the adoption is increasing. The infrastructure or the plumbing for XRP is being laid out in one way or the other. So if you are here to make profit, you would be looking at it in a clear manner so that you can digest it properly. Then you will go back to the charts and see what opportunities are there, right? So let's go back to the charts. So if you are kind of waiting in this market, and making money, that's completely fine. Enjoy, take your profits on time, and then stay updated. Because if you don't know what really is happening in the market, it's going to be really hard. And if you want charts for these kind of trades setups in different time frames, what you can look at, where the resistance lies, where the support is and all, you can look for any assets, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description, and if you like to support the channel, you can hit that like and subscribe button, or if you wish to extend your support, you can use PayPal, Patreon, or the XRP wallet address given in the description below. Now this is 15th of this month, and if you would like to enter into the Patreon, you can make it quick so that you're not paying for an entire month and just getting 10 days, 5 days a day. If you enter now, you still get 15 days. But yeah, it's better to enter into the lower tiers and then ride it through the 15 days. Now, yeah, this is February. So you get 13 days and then jump to the first of the next month and upgrade. You can see something like this. Now, I think weekly chart would be better if you're actually going to discuss about the Wyckoff pattern, right? Because Wyckoff pattern, what it shows you is the capitulation stage, the spring, and the change in the market, right? So here you were coming down. That was the bear market. We came through that all the way. Then something changed here, right? We was not kind of creating a new low there, and we were consolidating, after which we capitulated, and that was the spring. And then we came back, we retested that area, slowly moved up to the top, came back all the way to the downside. Now that is one of the most important stuff in Elliott wave. If you are still inside that pattern and not crossing this one, chances are you are going to come back down. Now we came back down, we bounced, so this can also be considered as first, second, third move to the upside, creating higher highs. Now you came back down, you wicked all the way down, so that was another capitulation, and then we moved to the upside. Now if you look back, you can see there are long wicks to the top and the bottom happening way back in 2018. You come towards 2020, you can still see the same, right? So here it's happening to the upside. Here was back then when we were capitulating, you were getting that to the downside, right? Here you got that wick, you went all the way down, then you got that wick, you started that rally. Now as of now, you got a wick in the bottom, then you went to the upside, you get another wick, but the next candle came up and closed almost around 70% of this wick. So that means when you zoom in, you can understand this is kind of a continuation pattern, which we can say this is a 3 candle continuation pattern representing there is still bullishness in the market. So now what you can do is you can actually go back into this chart. So next target here should be somewhere around 0.88, 0.9. Now you zoom in, get onto a 4-hour chart. This is what you see. Say in the RSI, you can see a rising trend line support. I've actually used a light green color for that, so the RSI and the color is visible. Now at the same time, you can see that the top is reducing. Now the price is also reflecting same structure. Now when you look at the pattern, it's highlighting that price is getting the congested, or the movement is getting congested, so there can be a breakout. Now when you understand that the RSI is already at support, what are we expecting? A bounce. Now if we are to bounce, then this particular line, which is showing here as a resistance and here as a support, means if this bounce is happening in the RSI, then we are going to bounce back into this resistance range, which extends all the way towards 0.74. So if we are able to manage above that level, that's going to be bullish again. Now the entire market is still bullish, it's only -3%. That's a little bit of correction after running so huge. We were kind of stuck around $1 trillion market cap, and right now it's $1.4 trillion. So 400 billion came afterwards. That's not a small deal. Look back, we were kind of $200-300 billion in the entire market cap, and right now 3%, 5% fluctuation is impacting a lot of newbies. Why? Because they are not aware of what the market can actually do. Say Cardano, we highlighted that this is going to happen, and we are going to take our profits at 0.93, 0.95, all the way if it pumps towards $1. And those who took profit were able to buy it back at the lower area. Today morning, I highlighted for my members that I'm buying it back. I bought some positions and I highlighted it to them that I did this stuff. Not only in ADA, I did other purchase too. I informed them, and as far as I know, others also bought. And now if you look at the price, it's bouncing back. So that was not a bad decision. So that's how you look at support and you buy. So when you buy any asset in this market cycle, you do have to understand it has small waves and long waves, or shorter term cycles and longer term cycles. So you see a market cycle fluctuating here in a weekly. Okay, cool. Now, if you're a short term guy, you would instead go into a 1 hour chart, 30-minute chart, depending upon, how you trade. But for me, short term would be 2 hour or 4 hour, it's better. But right now I'm using a hourly chart to show you guys this. Now, this is a trend which you can easily recognize in the 1 hour chart, right? So when you're looking at the movement of the price, this was moving like this, but at one point, that's this particular point, we broke below that, right? Then that became another trend line. So this one is a correction. So if you are looking this, for me, I would say, usually it's like the impulsive move to the upside, then a corrective phase. Now, once you break to the upside, you are going to run high. Now, one of the example which I would like to show you guys in that one would be Silica. Now, for ZIL, when I take you to the chart of ZIL, I would, kind of show you not a 1 hour chart. Instead, it would be better to show you a daily chart. Now, you can see something similar here in the daily chart, and we were playing about this. We were all on this, highlighting that when we were breaking out, we were showing that it's happening, enter, and they entered. So if that break is considered here, you came all the way up to 130%. Now, all of that kind of happened in a shorter time frame, right? If you want to measure that in a precise term, you can look at the measured move until the top. It was just 5 days we went 130%. So after 130% in 5 days, if you're correcting a little bit, that's not an issue. But what is the issue here for this particular asset is showing this divergence. Now you go back all the way towards the altcoin market cap, right? And you want to look at the altcoin market cap in a way that what really is happening, you need to understand. So now you are getting this hammer, or the inverted hammer or the hanging man there. That kind of shows you that the momentum is reducing a bit. Now when I say this, there are a lot of new guys who entered the market recently, and they would be looking like, okay, no, so what about my profits? Guys, calm down, relax. This is all happening. Now you moved from the bottom to the top like this in such a time frame that you made 12x, 10 to 12x in just the altcoin market cap, right? So that means different assets went even higher than that. Now your RSI, the top is reducing. So you are looking for a break to the upside. Why? You can also say that you're looking for a break to the downside, but for me, I'm looking at this, in a manner that the bottom is also increasing. Now, if I look at the ratio, which the highs are reducing and the lows are increasing, it definitely goes towards this edge. That means buyers are pushing sellers up. The strength, underlying strength of buyers are increasing, whereas the strength of sellers are not increasing much at the top. So that means, at least for me, that looks like bullish signal. So if we come back all the way down here and then bounce, that's a huge buying opportunity in my eyes. Now say if that happens in the altcoin market cap, you would be looking at a bounce all the way down towards here. So yeah, that would be 35%. Now, when altcoin market moves 35% down, not every asset moves similarly, right? Say here you can take this an example. Elron went 18% down, but FTT token went 6%. So that variation will always be there. So XRP went -7%, DOT went -4%. Again, Litecoin went -7%. So when you look at the entire market, you see a lot of different fluctuations, right? So the same would happen there. If this is to happen like this, you are going to see a lot of different assets giving you an opportunity like this. Because say this measured move is at 0.57. If you manage to buy it at 0.55, you may end up with 210, right? Now it is 200x. If you can manage to buy low or your average is lower than that, that's fine. You're going to get more. You're going to make more out of it. Now the same applies for all the different assets, right? If you're in many different assets and you're looking at, okay, which asset would be fine for me? I'm kind of in 4 or 5 different assets, but if this is the case, some of the asset may not give me the return which I really want, but the others may have a higher chance or likeliness to hit those huge targets. In that case, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description, where around 850 members right now are reaping the benefit. Now let's jump into the fundamental side of this, right? When I saw this news, I was like, okay, so the story is being connected directly towards Jet dumping. Okay, so when the entire crypto market is dumping, I don't think Jet is kind of dumping the units in BTC, in Ether and other units, say Dodge at least. I don't think so, because this is the market cycle playing out. We told here yesterday that there is a correction coming and this double top may not play out completely, but it may give you that fake symbol that it's going to go bearish, right? So if you understand the technicals, you stay relevant, you trade and make money. But if you don't, that's going to be hard. Why? Because if you understand the technicals and then the fundamentals, you're kind of going to combine it both. See, this tweet from Michael highlights: Ripple reveals to push expansion in institutional use case for liquidity in Asia, right? And that's using XRP. So they launches hiring spree for Ripple X. Ripple is highlighting the payment startup's effort to expand XRP liquidity for institutions across the world's largest continent. Now, looking at the remittance market, looking at the payments industry and the adoption rate right now, this particular region is going to be a main player. Then Michael put out this one, which I kind of highlighted, right? When Elon highlighted, we are going to buy this, then Twitter would be saying, okay, we are going to buy this. So if everyone is going to move into dollar, Bitcoin is not valid. In the same sense, if everyone is going to move into Bitcoin, the value of dollar may go down. Anyway, China is dumping the bonds from US, so they don't want the US dollar. Other nations like India, China, Russia and others are trying to deal with their own currencies instead of looking at US dollar as a reserve currency. So these kind of stuff is going to impact you in one way or the other. If you invest or not, it's going to definitely impact you. If the actual value of dollar is going down, that's your purchasing power going down, whether it's a milk, egg or daily requirement which you do, or your investment. Now you have less purchasing power. So what you have to do, you have to look at the fundamentals, and if the fundamentals look strong like this and the technicals give you an indication like this, for me that's a massive opportunity. Now, yes, there are some assets which kind of shows you from here, they're going to do way better than XRP. But looking at the fundamentals, now that's just technicals. Looking at the fundamentals and then combining both, it can do even better than this. This is just the likeliness of what we can calculate from the charts. But those NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, if they are going to end and we are going to get the regulatory clarity, we are going to do even higher than that. I believe if it's 100,000% here, we are going to get 300,000%. So that's going to be massive, right? From here, it's going to be huge. So just the question is, how many of you have the patience to wait and take that profit? So guys, I believe you received value for your time, and if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And remember, I'll meet you guys on the next video with even tough news.